Welcome to Gentle Yoga. Thank you for being here. I'm Cyndi. If you're joining us for the first time, in this class we use a strap or a scarf, whatever is handy or something that you like and prefer to use. We'll be doing some reclined stretches for the legs, and that'll come in really handy. And also either a flat blanket or a pillow will come in handy as well. So finding yourself in a comfortable space where you have what you need and a comfortable temperature. We're going to start a little bit different today by lying on our side and placing the blanket. We'll call this the couch side of our space and the plant side. So when I refer to different directions, I'll be referring to those landmarks. So in the sideline position, I like to take either your pillow or your blanket and place it on top of the arm and between the ear, and we'll come just to a resting position here. And closing the eyes, and just settling into this transition from wherever you were to where you are now. And noticing the breath. So as we're lying in a sideline position, we have one lung stacked on top of another. And I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing into the lung that's on top. So see if as you can take in that next breath, bring your attention, let your awareness land on that lung, right below that top shoulder, and see if you can visually see it filling up and filling up, and then letting go, feeling the collapse, even maybe feeling that shoulder sink a little as you release the breath. Do it again as you breathe in. And breathe out. Noticing a sense of contracting a little as you exhale, expanding as you inhale. And see if you can take that awareness into the upper back. On that same side, noticing the ribs as you breathe in, stretching and cradling a little more space. And as you exhale, seeing the ribs coming back towards each other, restabilizing. We'll do 2 more breaths like that silently. Good, nice long breaths, that's the way. Now bring the hand on top to the knee and draw the knee into the chest. And let's create some circles with that knee, starting to wake up energy in the hip. You can keep the eyes closed or open them at this point, your choice. You might need to open your eyes just to see what we're doing in reference to the video, and then you can close them again. Now bring the knee back up to the chest and press the knee back and away and circle in the opposite direction. And notice how slow we're moving through the range of motion of that hip joint, just waking things up. And draw the knee into the chest. Good, extend that leg out straight. Take your hand that's free, bring it in front of the chest, and use the strength of the upper body to rise up. And we'll go right into a side bend. So we'll tuck our hand to the inside of the foot and reach up, and now notice that we're collapsing into the lung that we were exercising before, and see if we can breathe into the opposite lung now for 4 breaths. attention to your core, rising up one vertebrae at a time. And then bring this foot in front, cross-leg position. And we'll walk ourselves into a cross-leg forward fold here. You can use your pillow or any kind of prop to bolster your arms if you need that support as you come forward. You don't have to go into anything really deep this early on in our practice. We're just going into what's possible here and exploring what wants to be known as a limitation and honored. And we will get to check out that flexibility again in a little while. And let's stay again here for another 4 breaths. Continue to count the breaths. And in so doing, we bring more attention to the breath as we give ourselves a number of breaths. Adjusting your posture as needed for comfort on those ankles and hips and knees. And notice we're breathing into both lungs evenly, feeling the back side of the lungs opening. On this last breath, bring your attention to your lumbar spine, which is the lowest vertebrae on the spine, to the low back. And imagine as you breathe in, you're breathing space into the discs, into the space between the vertebrae. And then using abdominal strength, slowly draw your navel back up into your spine as you lift your spine up into an erect position. And then slide your hands to your knees and bring your knees together. And we'll take our sideline position to the other direction. So we're going to be moving towards the plant. Place your support in that direction. And let your head rest on that support. Stacking hips and shoulders, closing the eyes. Just noticing what you notice. And then beginning to repeat our exercise, our breathing exercise on this side. Imagine if you're able to visually see it and feel it, breathing into that top lung, top shelf lung. Obviously, we're still breathing into both, but we're breathing into that one on the top more because the capacity is there. Good. Stay here for a couple more full breaths, rounding out your awareness around to the upper back, into the ribs, noticing what you notice as you broaden your attention beyond the lung into the rib cage, to the shoulder. And then draw the hand to the knee and draw the knee up into the chest. You can do that on the exhale and imagine expelling the air from the lung as the knee comes to the chest, adding a little constriction. And then rounding out the range of motion in the hip, in that top hip, by creating knee circles with the support of the arm. Nice slow movements. You can time these movements with the breath if you'd like to. Breathing in as you lift the knee and exhaling as you lower. That feels intuitive, but for you it might be the opposite. And then draw the knee to the chest this time. Press the knee back like you're going for a quad stretch, and then pull it up and around. Reversing the direction. See if you can move even a little bit more slowly. One more. And on this last one, without pause, go right flowing into a full leg extending move. Take the free hand, prop yourself up. And again, without pausing, see if you can slide right into your side bend and take your attention to the opposite side of the rib cage, opposite lung, and begin breathing in to that side, directing the breath. Use your imagination. It might be helpful to close your eyes as you imagine that open side, that exposed side, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. Notice as you get more relaxed in the flexibility, it gives way to the intention that the knee starts to fall a little closer towards the floor. And then we'll use our oblique strength to come up, stacking the spine and drawing that foot forward into cross leg once again. Crossing the legs opposite order. Bring your support into position in front as needed. Fold forward, hinging from the hips and keeping those sits bones on the mat so that we're not taking our seat off the mat, but keeping our intention of our spine reaching in both directions simultaneously. Tailbone reaching back, crown reaching forward towards me. And now directing those breaths into the upper back and expanding the ribs. Sinking a little deeper on the exhale into gravity. Even letting the chin come towards the sternum and lengthening out the back of the neck. Take this last breath to recognize what you're feeling. Through sensation, we drop our awareness into this connection between psyche and soma, where our awareness and our body meet, where our energy and our body meet. We have sensation as a result, and as we bring our attention to that sensation, it shifts and changes. So we're going to be bringing more and more attention to sensation. Now we'll bring our feet together, soles of the feet together. This is called Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. If you'd like, you can interlace your fingers around those toes and pull those heels in a little closer. We'll sit up tall with the spine, roll the shoulders back, lengthen, and then hinge forward, letting those knees draw as far towards the earth as they can. Again, you're welcome to bring something forward, any kind of prop or pillow that you might need. And your hip flexibility will determine how low the knees will go without forcing. Just let them fall where it feels natural for you, maybe a little challenging, but not painful. Now soften what needs softening. I can tell my shoulders are a little tense. I'm going to drop some awareness right there and intend to soften on the exhale. Scan the body for any excessive effort where it's not necessary, and then release that effort, that compensation. That's where we're using energy unnecessarily, and we want to free that energy out to circulate into parts of the body that are awakening through sensation. Now beginning on an inhale to rise up, lifting the spine one vertebrae at a time. Good. The knee closest to the tree will lift up, and we'll take a very mild twist. So resting the elbow on top of the knee for now. Go ahead and fold that forearm to the inside of the shin, placing the hand to the inside of the ankle. And then take the opposite arm around and we'll gently twist. So this isn't a really deep twist, but it's more of a hip opener with an introduction to a spinal twist. Good. As the tendency for this knee to collapse and fold in presents itself, you use the strength of the forearm and the arm to push back against that inner knee. Feeling and creating a little tension. You can feel it lifting all the way up the spine. And then finally let the knee have its way and meet the other knee, and then take the twist deeper, looking over the shoulder. And now coming out of the twist, let the hand stay on the knee. Using the support of the arm, will open and close. So we're going back and forth, in and out of our twist, back and forth, in and out of our hip rotation. Nice. I just had a little pop in my hip. That's probably a good sign because it felt good. Notice what sensations are arising for you, maybe even some complementary sound effects. And then let's bring that knee back. Bring the soles of the feet back together. This time let the feet slide a little closer towards me. So not tucked in so tight with the heels to the pubic bone, but the feet are sliding a little forward and the knees are a little bit more relaxed. And now once again, find a forward fold and find the support that helps prop you up as needed. We'll feel this a little bit differently. And again, relax those shoulders. Engage with the breath. And soften what's needing to be softened. Two more breaths, keeping our attention on the sensation. There's a theory in quantum physics that what we observe changes, and how we observe it changes what we observe. So as we're observing our sensation that's arising from putting ourselves in different postures, the mere fact of observation changes what we're observing based on what we're projecting on it, what we're thinking about it, how we're feeling about it. So we want to consider those elements as we bring our attention to sensation. Now bringing the heels back in. Good, and we'll take the knee closest to the couch, lift, take the elbow onto the knee. And let the forearm find the inside of the shin, pushing the palm to the inside of the ankle, reaching around with the opposite arm. Turn, look over the shoulder. And the tendency is for the knee to fold in. See if you can keep pushing outward with the strength of the arm on that knee as the opposite knee moves closer to the floor and the spine lifts and rotates out of that opposition. Sinking awareness into sensation with appreciation, curiosity, and intention. An intention to create more space and freedom for circulation in the body. Now, allowing a collapse here of tension between the legs, knees folding in to touch, and both hands reaching around to support the twist, propping up the spine. Relaxing the shoulders and breathing. Take your attention now along the spine, visually see it rotating, observing the spine, again with appreciation, curiosity, and intention to support spinal flexibility, which is related to our youthfulness. Now we'll come out of the twist, letting the hand find the knee again, and we'll go back and forth now, rocking in and out of the spaciousness we've created in that hip and along that spine. So imagine that they're all connected as they are, all parts of the body connected. So as we feel that opening in the hip, you feel that opening in the spine. As we feel that closing in the hip, that constriction closing off, we feel it also moving up the spine in the twist. One more. Good. So the momentum of the movement of the leg is following into the momentum of the spinal flexibility. There's no starting, no stopping between those parts of the body. Now bringing the soles of the feet together once again, this time, send them a little further out, just a slight bend in the knee, and then let the elbows come to the insides of the knees and fold forward as much as is comfortable for you, bringing your chin back toward your sternum and the crown of your head, pointing gently angled towards the floor. Breathing with awareness, softening with intention. Good, and from here, staying in your forward fold, hands to the feet. Go ahead, straighten the legs. Bring the heels together, backs of the knees to the floor. Move right into a forward fold. And you're welcome to use your strap here. If you have it handy, go ahead and place it around the balls of the feet. Pulling back with the hands on either side. Pull the elbows back towards the ribs, lifting the sternum slightly, reaching the crown forward towards me, and then sinking one more time into the fold, softening that upper body and noticing the sensation rising up into awareness, probably from the hamstrings. As you observe the sensation, notice slight changes. Two more breaths here, staying with that awareness. Connecting our breath and our attention, our posture as one. Drawing our navel towards our spine. Begin to lift, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time, and then bend the knees. Good. If it feels safe for you and you want the challenge, lift the legs. You can do this with or without a strap. We're in boat pose here, a modified version of boat to challenge our core strength. Good. Those that want a little bit more, you can release the arms. Extend the legs straight. Open the arms. Good. Those that need to, modify, bend the knees and let the feet rest to the floor. Bringing the arms forward, rounding the spine back. And then stretching the arms out like wings, lift the spine. Good. And hinge forward and back with the movement of the arms. Good. Trying not to use that shoulder strength to create the movement, but creating that movement from the core. Now this time, coming up, opening the wings and turning towards the tree. Leaning back. Coming up and over with the arm. Good. Open up the wings. Rotate towards the couch. Reach back a little further. Come up and over with the arm. Good. Now draw nice, smooth energy over the front of the legs and position the legs so that you can come into a reclined position. For me, I have to shift. You might be in the perfect position. But we're going to let the fingers trace up the front of the legs, know where your strap is, and begin to lengthen the legs forward as you start to slowly let your spine find the gravity, waiting for it to land softly, safely, and with control into support of the floor. And from here, I'd like to invite you just to create whatever spontaneous movement feels aligned for your body. So you might like to bring your knees to your chest or shake out your hands, whatever it is for you. Create some movement that supports you and adjusting from being upright to reclined, finding that supine position. And then we'll come together with the feet on the floor, knees bent, and tapping into one of the pumps of the body in the pelvis. We have 3 pumps in the body that circulate blood flow back to the heart. The calves are one, the pelvis is one, and then the heart obviously is a pump. So we're going to start to lift the heels and lower the heels. You might notice your pelvis lifts too, and that's okay. Start working the pumps of the calves here. Lift the heels, contract those calf muscles, and then lower. Maybe even lifting the toes, alternating. 2 more times. Encouraging blood flow to the heart. Good. Now, let's bring it back to starting, and without moving the foot position or the heels or pumping the calves, let's just tilt the pelvis back and forth. Small range of motion, gentle movements. It's the abdominal strength doing the work. The legs are not firing. Notice how we're challenging our ability to isolate parts of the body. Good. Now we're going to add these together by lifting up the heels, contracting the calves, and tilting the pelvis. And then lower the spine. Lower the heels. And bring the knees to the chest. Again, feet to the floor. Push down in the pads of the feet, lift the heels. Rise up, tilt the pelvis back. Slowly trace the spine back into the mat. Tilt the pelvis neutral. Release the heels and draw the knees into the chest. One more just like that. You do it on your own. Good, and we'll meet with knees into the chest. Both hands on the knees, gently circling. Reverse direction. And extend the legs straight up. So inverting, this is a very gentle inversion, meaning that the blood flow that's normally flowing through the force of gravity into the legs is being turned upside down, inverted, so that the flow of blood circulation from the legs is now above the heart and flowing back to the pelvis. Let's keep the heels together and rotate the ankles. Reverse direction. Good, and do that same thing, flexing and pointing, flexing and pointing. There we go. Now drawing the knees in towards the chest again, have your strap handy and place your strap around your feet, the balls of your feet. Now we'll rock the pelvis back and forth using the strap. So doing this at your comfort level, keep the legs straight. Take the hands along the strap where it feels comfortable to just rock back and forth here. Feeling a nice stretch along the back of the legs. Of course, you're welcome to bend your knees for this, modify. Or keep the legs straight if that's practical for you. Now as the legs come back, whether straight or knees bent, we'll slip our left foot out of the strap and let that left foot come to the floor, knee bent. And then we're going to imagine the face of a clock. As we lower the right leg, we're lowering the leg towards the 6 on the clock. And as we lift the leg, we're raising it to 12. So we'll use that reference. And as the leg moves over to its own side, we're calling that 9 o'clock. And as it crosses the midline of the body, we're calling that 3 o'clock. Okay, so we'll come back to the center of the clock. And let's draw the knee into the chest. And as the knee is drawn into the chest with the strap on the ball of the foot, you're going to push the foot towards 6 o'clock and draw the knee back towards 12, creating tension in the arms and the leg. And then release the tension and let the leg extend to 6 o'clock. And with the leg straight, draw it back to 12 o'clock. Hold the stretch. And release the leg back to the center and move towards 9 o'clock. And as the foot moves towards 9 o'clock, hands on the strap, move the knee towards 12 o'clock. And then straighten the leg and move the leg with the support of the strap towards 9 o'clock. Now the opposite leg can stay with the knee bent, foot on the floor, or straighten the leg if you have that flexibility and control across the pelvis, keeping that pelvis neutral. to bring your attention to where sensation is arising. And let your breath land in the center of the sensation and witnessing the impact of the breath on the flexibility. Now drawing the leg back to the center of the clock, placing the hand in the opposite arm, draw the leg over to 3 o'clock. So notice the pelvis is still neutral. We're not rotating the spine at this point. Taking the strap, bending the knee and pulling the knee back towards 12 as you push the foot towards 3. And then releasing that tension, extend the leg and let it come all the way over as far as is comfortable to 3 o'clock, allowing that twist in the spine and taking it a little further by shifting the gaze in the opposite direction if that's practical for your neck. And letting your attention land where you're most curious. In the awareness of sensation arising in the body, what's curiously arising? Your attention is attracted to, where your breath naturally wants to go to be supportive. And drawing the leg back to the center using the support of the arm and the strap. Let's draw the knee back into the chest. And then slightly over to 9 o'clock and then draw the knee down towards the floor. This would be like a half of a happy baby. Call it one happy baby. Now, if you haven't already bent the opposite knee, place the foot on the floor, do so. And then rest the outside of this foot on top of that thigh. And draw that knee into the chest, reaching through. Creating a nice stretch here. Flex that foot. Now, for those that want more, you can take the strap onto the opposite foot, extending the leg straight and drawing that leg back. That's another level. Another way to do it is to bend that knee and draw in. That's another level. Play within your field. Don't try to force anything your body's not ready for. Good, releasing back into this reclined pigeon stretch. Let the arms rest to the sides and we'll gently rock the lower body back and forth, staying in this lower body geometry of a figure 4. We'll rock from side to side, noticing what we notice in that hip flexibility. And roll all the way over into the twist side. And if it's feasible to just relax that lower body into whatever feels good. Those that want a little extra can take the hand on top of the knee and draw it back towards 12 o'clock. Releasing the twist, bring the legs back to the center. This time cross the knee right on top so that we're closing the gap from the foot down. So the knees are stacked right on top of each other. And then we'll reach down to the shins and draw both knees into the chest. Those that want more can slide the hands to the ankles and pull those ankles down and in. And then uncross the legs. Take the hands up to the ankles, either with the legs straight or the knees bent. Separate the legs. Come into a straddle position. Again, this can be done in the happy baby, the two happy babies this time. Bringing those legs together, knees to chest, feet to the floor. Now externally rotate the knees outward, externally rotating the hips, knees draw outward, soles of the feet together. Again, we call this Baddha Konasana. This one is actually Supta Baddha Konasana, supine, bound angle pose. And if it feels good to let your hands rest to the inner thighs and put a little pressure down on the knees, not too much, but just enough to say hello to what might be there that wants to be known. A little extra fleshing out of the flexibility that's wanting to emerge. And then again, slowly extend the legs a little bit so the soles of the feet remain together, but the heels draw a little further away from the tailbone, and let the knees flare out and down towards the earth. And then slowly extend the legs and the feet together as we did before. Reach the arms overhead, stretch. Rotate the wrists and the ankles. Reverse direction. And scoop those knees back into the chest. Find your strap and place it around the balls of the feet. Going back to clockwork. Now if you're able to straighten the legs, do that. We'll rock a couple times across the back of the sacrum, tipping that pelvis, either with knees bent or legs straight. Challenging ourselves to move slower than we normally do, to feel the benefits. We feel more when we slow down. Good, and let's go ahead and slip that right leg out, foot to the floor, keeping the knee bent, sole on the foot, or extending your leg, your choice. We'll release the leg down, checking out our position, 6 o'clock down here, 12 o'clock up here. Good, 3 o'clock. And 9 o'clock. And back to the center. Good. Let's release, bending the knee. push the foot towards 6 o'clock. Using your strap, pull back and draw the knee towards 12 o'clock, creating tension in the legs and the arms. Dynamic tension moving in two opposing directions simultaneously. You can feel it building. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, exhale and extend the leg out to 6 o'clock. And then bring it all the way back up to 12 o'clock and hold. Breathing into sensation. At any time, you can extend the opposite leg to go deeper for those that want more. Flexing the foot on the extended leg. Let's take and support the leg, moving that foot over towards 3 o'clock. Taking the hands on either side of the strap, draw the knee back towards 12 as you push the foot towards 3. Feeling the tension building. Take a breath in. And exhale, extend the leg all the way over to 3 o'clock to the degree that supports you safely and challenges you at the same time. Keeping a neutral pelvis and a strong core, begin to lift the leg up. Draw the knee to the chest. Press the leg back up and over towards 9 o'clock. And then pull back on that strap, draw the knee towards 12 o'clock. So again, sacrum is even and flat on the back, on the mat, if you're using a mat or the floor. Not twisting quite yet. And then go ahead and shoot that leg over towards 9 o'clock, fully extended, and come into the twist with the spine, shift the gaze. Good, eyes can be opened or closed. Work with your comfort level. If you like to have a little more light in, you can open the eyes. If you like a little more focused attention on sensation, you can close the eyes. Gently begin rising and falling simultaneously. Leg rises and And spine falls back into order. Bending the knee on that opposite leg to support as we draw the knee to the chest. Use the strap and the knee, and then place the outside of the foot onto the top of the thigh. Good. You can reach through, figure 4, clasp the hands underneath the thigh, or take the strap around the ball of the opposite foot and use that leverage to draw the top of the thigh closer to the chest. Also bending that knee, and the same thing we did, pulling the knee towards 12, pushing the foot towards 6. Be protective of your knee by flexing the foot, resting on the top of the thigh. Great, and then release the strap. Let the arms come out to the side and rocking figure 4 from side to side, adjusting the position of the foot as needed to support this. It's just a gentle rocking across the back, the sacrum. It doesn't have to be a very wide range of motion. It can be smaller or bigger. Good, now go all the way over into the twist again. Let the foot come flat to the floor. And if you'd like to, you can take the hand to the knee and draw that knee towards the floor. Getting that stretch climb up the T-band and around into the low back. Getting a nice lumbar stretch here, either way. Gaze can be directly upward to the sky or rotating to the extended arm. And let's go ahead and pull it all back together into the center, crossing the knees tightly together. Close that gap between the heel and the knee by sliding both knees together. Reach around and take the shin, drawing those knees to the chest. Slide down further to the top of the ankle if you'd like. Pulling inward and downward. A little bit more flexibility required here. Uncross the legs, lift them upright. Good. Take them apart, hands to the ankles, or you can place the strap onto the feet and use that strap to create that recline inversion, straddle style. If you are using it in this manner, you can also bend the knees and imagine pushing up into the strap as you pull down on the strap, creating some tension here. You can play here with turning, side to side, which is just a tilt of the pelvis from right to left. Gentle, small movement here. And And then eventually bringing those feet together, bring the soles of the feet together with the strap around the feet. Draw those toes towards the nose. Those that want more can reach around, interlace the fingers around the feet. And if you really want to get the toes to the nose, you can lift the head, rounding in. Of course, that's totally optional and goes outside the boundary of gentle yoga. So we'll declare that as a bonus option for those who want it. Now draw those knees into the chest. Once again, soles of the feet together, let the knife edge of the foot find the floor in reclined Baddha Konasana, keeping the strap around the feet, now pulling up with that strap and letting the hands rest with a fist on the qua, or right at the region where the leg attaches to the pelvis. And then slowly let the legs stretch a little further. Keep the hands on the qua. Feel the knees drop a little deeper into the earth, like the roots sinking into the earth. Let the legs extend a little further away from the pelvis. Feel the sinking weight of the legs penetrating deep into the earth, grounding, anchoring, and resting here in a comfortable position. Again, freedom to adjust as needed. You might feel that you need another little stretch for the back, another little ring around the rosy for the knees and the hips. Give yourself the freedom to flow and glow into that perfect sweet spot for resting in our Shavasana, our final resting pose. If you would like to take your strap and move it off to the side, if it's in the way, that's fine. For me, because it's a scarf, I could cover my eyes with that if I wanted a little extra protection from the light and invitation to go inward. If you have a bolster, you can place it under your knees, or a soft blanket or pillow. And again, find your position, wiggling the fingers and toes, adjusting yourself so that you're feeling good about where you are and supported and nurtured, and that you can let go into the safety of being held by the moment. No effort, no destination, no agenda, just presence, awareness, curiosity, and appreciation. Let's gently start creating some movement in our roots. Externally rotating the hips, turn the toes out. Internally rotating hips, turn the toes towards each other. And then feel the internal and external rotation move up into the knees and the hips. Do the same thing with the arms. Internally rotate the shoulders, turn the palms down towards the floor, rolling in towards the spine, and then externally rotate the shoulders, turn the palms up and away, and synchronize the internal and external movements with the upper and the lower body, rolling towards and away from the center of the body, the spine. Imagine as we roll in towards the spine, we're sending energy into the center of our body. As we roll away, we're stretching the energy out, creating a circulation between the inner and the outer environments. Extend the arms over the head. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, move wrists, move ankles, and draw knees into chest. Circle the knees one more time in each direction. And then let the knees turn to face me and roll back onto your side in the start position. Resting just here for a moment. Connect with the appreciation that you have for your body for showing up, trying some new things, providing the feedback of sensation, and having the intelligence to know how to use this energy that we've gifted it through our presence and our attention and our focus. We'll come up to seated. Coming up gently and slowly, noticing the spine and its ability to support us. And we'll take just a moment to pause in a comfortable seated position with the spine upright and the shoulders rolled back. Chin slightly dipping in towards the sternum, lengthening the back of the neck. And as you imagine that opening along the center of the spine, will breathe in and out of it like a straw. Seeing that connection between heaven and earth open, that channel flowing with life force, hinge forward from the hips. We'll circle around it a couple times in each direction. And just feeling the fluidity of the spine and all the surrounding joints coming together in a union. All parts having their role, supporting one another when they're together in harmony. We have an effective system. Bring your hands together over the head. And as your hands come down, there's a lightness about the hands, and as they come down closer to the earth, they get heavier, heavier, sinking into one another at the heart, heavier, more dense, calling you humbly back to earth. Namaste.